What is going on, everybody? Crypto Clay here, tapping in with you. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Oh, whoa, whoa, something's still smoking. Something's still on fire back here behind the computer. Oh, my ashtray is still smoking. All right, man, look at that Bitcoin price action. She is just ripping. So beautiful to see. Super dope that she's doing a rip up like that. I mean, where's the top at? The recent top at 18,934, getting a little rejection there, but still she gained support and is still riding on. That's awesome to see that. Now, I'm not going to be fooled. Okay. So this is what the market maker likes to do. They like to set up scenarios where everybody gets all emotional and then they pull the rug out from under everyone who goes long. Everybody buys in, then they use that liquidity to take more profit. Boom, making their bags bigger, because then once it hits the bottom, then people start to go short and they swing it the other way. So don't be fooled by this. There's still certain levels I feel like we need to break through. I feel like if we broke through our previous cycle all-time high, which is around $20,000, if we broke through that and then sat on top of that and gained support, I'd be like, guys, we might have just had the bottom, and we're on to greater things, on to the next cycle. I want to bring that up. According to this, if I pulled my fib from Monday, March 9th, 2020, all the way to the high at Monday the 12th, April 2021, pull that rip, this fib that we have finally broken back on top of the 0.786. So I feel like the next rip would be to like 26,000, you know what I mean? And we could see something like this go on. This is just speculation here. We get a rip, we retest this, we get back above into our 0.618, where the fib likes to go to, or where the price likes to go to in the fib, get another rejection, and we finally can maybe start to make new all-time highs. That would be really cool, and it possibly lines up with the halvening, you know what I mean? And the other thing I wanted to point out, so for some reason my algorithm got screwed up. If you go back in my last video, I mentioned a certain someone, and I feel like that screwed up my algorithm because only 8 people saw that video when I was, getting like 200 views every time I would release the video. So it's kind of weird, right? Okay, so I'm going to go into indicators here. We're going to type in my favorite indicator. You know what it is, NVT. We're going to go to NVT Original. Okay, and remember I said that signal line, that orange one, is starting to cross underneath the NVT line, and every time it does that, it crosses underneath, we get a rip in the NVT, which correlates with a rip in the price, right? So the NVT is used for calling tops. It's not so good at calling bottoms, but you can see when a top is coming. You know what I mean? It flashes red on this particular one. We are on the week here. What's it on the 1 month chart? Let's zoom ourselves out here. Yeah, exactly. See, we're still getting across. Every time it crosses under, it rips. Every time it crosses over, it pulls down. Every time it crosses under, it rips up. And we did just rip up. Maybe it's going to be a short one like these, and we're going to see another sink down. And I think that's possible, Anyways, so keep your guard up on Bitcoin. Enjoy the green days. Enjoy them, because we've had such depression for the last year in the price. But, you should have been accumulating down there if that area was, in fact, the bottom. But some news could always pull us down further. So I'm joyful at the green, but I'm still on edge. I don't believe we're out of the bear market completely yet. Maybe I'm wrong. Flare doing barely a rebound, but if you go into this chart, we're on the day chart, and I'm going to delete this guy, actually. Remove that guy. So I drew a fib from the bottom, a little silly guy. We're on the day chart from the bottom of that flare network coin, and I pulled it to the top. And where are we? We're building the candle right here at the 0.5, and I wouldn't be surprised if it touches down in the 0.618. And hopefully we keep going, because there's nothing here. There's no price action even back here, even all the way back at the beginning of the chart, right? We don't have any chop really until 12 cents, and we can see right here, we even got a little bit of chop on the way down as it fell at 15 cents. So I don't see why those wouldn't be points of interest that we would possibly return to if people keep buying this. So what I did, so look, there's a vote going on. So the airdrop occurred. Only 15% was airdropped to us, to people who hold XRP or establish a trust line on December 12th, 2020. So then it makes you eligible for the airdrop. And so then there's a vote among the validators that so you only got airdropped 15%. Will the remaining 85% get redistributed to everybody over a a long period of time, like 2 years? Short or long, I guess that's perspective. So it'll be that 85% will be airdropped over the course of like 2 years to everybody who held on the snapshot date. The other side of the proposal is it's only that 85% won't go to people who held on the snapshot date. It will only go to people who are participating in the network right now. So like if you've delegated to a validator, right? So I was like, well, I did my airdrop. I chose to not self-custody, and I'm going to be transparent. I did it on Uphold. I sent it there for the transaction or for the snapshot date, and then I took it out, right? Redistributed it where I like to hide it. And so I got my flare there, everything's fine, but it says if I remove it from there, I'm not eligible for the other 85%, right? But then if I keep it there and I don't delegate it in a decentralized way, like through Bifrost, or maybe you can do it with Trust Wallet, you probably can, but through some other decentralized wallet is my point. And so I'm like, well, shit. So it's like, what am I going to do? I don't, if the vote goes one way, I might miss out. If the vote goes another way, I might miss out depending on what I do with my flare. So I left my flare alone. I think I'm going to stake it. I haven't decided yet with Uphold. And then I am buying flare on this dip. And then I'm going to delegate it in a decentralized way. So whichever way the vote goes, I'm still going to earn some of that rest of that redistribution of everyone's 85% flare that they didn't get. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's like the smartest way to go about it. But I think it's heavily believed that the vote will go in one way, and I forget which way that is. I think it's going to go towards the way of where it gets distributed to everybody who participated in it. So, or participated in a decentralized manner and not doing it through an exchange. But I could be wrong on which way the community seems to be leaning towards. Okay. All right. And so another thing I wanted to leave you with, as the price starts to go crazy with XRP, right? Here's the XRP price chart. Here's the XLM price chart overall. Got them on weeks. On the week. Let's look at something here. Okay. So back here, when we ripped, in February 2017, okay, right around there. Let's move this a little bit over here just for a second. So our price on XLM was 0.00165 when it was down at these lows, okay? When it hit an all-time, not necessarily its all-time low, but yeah. So its bottom was roughly 0.00165. And if you multiply that by 570, right, then you would get the high. You would get that high of 94 cents, okay? So that's a 570x. That's crazy, right? And that's in XLM that we're talking about. Now, XRP, back at the same time period, if you were to do the same thing, its low was 0.005, right? So it's always been a little bit more than XLM. And it multiplied by 769. So it did a 769x from 0.005. And that makes $3.84, right? Which is about what it tapped up here. Some people will argue a different price, 340 to 380, roughly, right? So, okay, we'll call it a 768, 765. You can see my point. The multiplying factor is insane, at least in that particular stretch, right? Okay, so if you were to take the price of XLM right now, right, 0.08, and you were to multiply that by that previous multiplication factor of 570 of its last cycle where it hit 94 cents, you would get a price of $45. You would get a $45, right? And you can almost see it line up perfectly. If you do this in the chart, you copy the same move, we drag it to the low, and we come up here and boom, it says $43, right? So it could actually, be like right there. So I'm not saying it will repeat this pattern, but at the same time, I don't see why it won't. Now, if we do that same thing, that same multiplying factor that happened back in 2017, which for XRP was 769 roughly, right? Give or take a couple digits there. To make $3.40 or $3.84, whatever you think it went to right there. There's speculation. It depends which exchange you're looking at. I'm going to say $3.84. So that's a 769x. So if you apply 769x to the price of XRP right now, which is 37 cents, right? You get a price of $284. Holy crap on a stick. Are you joking me? And I'm just doing what this multiplying factor was and applying it to the same price. So even if you do the same thing, right, with the same tool, you bring it from the top down, and I'm not even including this long wick where it dipped way down. If you take that same thing and you put it there, if you put it right there, it tops out at 234, and I said 284. That's not very far in this particular chart, in the week chart, for it to have, the tip of its candle to hit 284. And then, you know what I mean? This is insane. If it does this pattern again, a lot of us are going to be very happy, because I know some of us are stacking XLM at the same time as we're stacking XRP. Yeah, enjoy the green days, but stay on alert. Keep stacking. Peace and love, y'all. This is Crypto Clay, tapping out.